Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. How's it going, everybody? This is your DJ's favorite DJ, DJ I Sizzle. So today we're going to get into equipment costs. And also, if you've never built a mobile setup before, what a good price would be. You know, like what would you want to pay for like maybe just a basic setup because you're looking to just do like smaller gigs. You're not really looking to do like, you know, like you got to have like a U-Haul to bring all your equipment in. But you're looking for maybe like a Toyota Corolla, or say for instance like like a CUV or something. So I built a whole new set this last year, 2021. And I did so much research online before I went and actually bought anything. I looked at all the reviews. I looked at like previous setups that I had. And then also I wanted to make sure that it was a setup that I could get in and out. I could set it up in 30 minutes. I could tear it down in 30 minutes. It wouldn't be one of those setups where it's going to take like 2 hours to set up. And then people are like, is the music going to start yet or what? What's going on with the DJ? Why is it taking so long to set up? So those are some big questions I had, like what kind of DJ facade should I buy? Like, or is it something like, do DJs even bring facades anymore? Do they just use tables? Like, what kind of clientele am I going to have? What kind of shows am I going to be running? Am I going to do weddings? Am I going to do club shows? Like, I really didn't know like what kind of shows I would be getting into. So I did a lot of research. I would create like carts on Amazon, like for like a lot of the basic stuff. And they actually had a really nice DJ facade on there for around $300. And I was like, that's a pretty good price. It's collapsible, foldable. You put it in a bag. I found when I set up that facade now, I get a lot of oohs and ahs. Like, ooh, what's that? You know, because it kind of looks a little magical. You know, like when you set it up, it's like you pull it out of the bag and you go like this, and you put the little top on, and you're set up. So you can get your DJ facade set up in within 5 minutes. And then I'm looking at like speakers. I'm like, what kind of speakers should I get? How much should I really pay for speakers? And I started looking at speakers, and I realized it was like, well, I remember I had one DJ tell me when I was first starting out, I was like super young. He said, you want to have an amp in your actual speaker so you don't have to bring an extra amp along. He said, because when you're doing mobile gigs, like the last thing you want to do is spend like 2 hours setting up. He said, you want to get in there and out as fast as you can. So I looked at all that. I said, okay, I need a power speaker. That was one of my requirements. And then how much do I really want to spend on these speakers? And then what did my audience want? The people I'm playing for, like what are they expecting in sound, So I looked at everything, and I was looking at all these different speaker brands. And I know a lot of people will tell you like, oh, speaker brands are pretty much all the same and whatnot. And they are similar. But I started noticing like wattage on some of them. And then I also started noticing like the quality of reviews. And I found some of them, like if I was to add up all my wattage in my equipment, that was another thing that was very important, was the wattage. Like, am I using too much wattage where I'm going to blow a circuit? Or am I using just the right amount of wattage where it's very low wattage, but a good sound quality? So that was a very important thing to me. Like, how much power am I going to need? And then if I have too much power and I try to turn it up, am I going to blow a breaker? So I started looking at some speakers, and I was like, wow, those speakers are like, they require a lot of power. Like that's going to blow a circuit. So that was a big determination in like looking for speakers, was like the wattage and then the quality. And then also, man, I'm not lugging around 500-pound speakers to every show. No way. We're going to want speakers that are really good quality, but aren't necessarily huge, but will give us enough sound quality. I started figuring out I started finding out, like after I got the equipment and I started DJing like weddings, they really don't want the sound up that loud. So they want the sound to be going. And then like when they party and they have like special moments, you can turn the sound up just a little bit, to kind of get people really into it and, make them feel the moment. Right. But other than that, you're keeping your levels to like the conversation level, which is good. I mean, it's great. You don't have to be blasting music, hurting your ears the whole night. DJ a lot, your ears are going to take a little bit of a beating. So keep that in mind. So that was a big factor, was the weight the quality of them, um, the decibel level, how loud I could turn them up without it, you know, without it peaking and like sounding terrible. So I decided to go with the Mackie Thump. I was able to get them on special for like $400 a speaker. I think they're like 5 or 6 now, but so I was able to get those speakers for about, yeah, it was about 400 a piece. And let me tell you, 7 8 months later, after I've have those speakers, let me tell you how much I love those speakers. They're some of the best speakers I've DJ'd with. I've DJ'd on club speakers and stuff, like at venues, and they're all right. But the Mackie Thumps, they're so nice. Powered amp, quick setup, super quick setup. You plug them in to your circuit breaker. You plug in your audio, your XLR, into your board. Super nice. Not too heavy, pretty light. I got two of them, two tripod stands, bags for the tripods. I thought about getting bags for the speakers too because your speaker like presentation is so important. Like if you have scratches and stuff on your speakers, like oh, how amateur is that? Like it's so amateur. You look so unprofessional. Like I just paid this guy a whole bunch of money to come in and play, and look at his speakers. Oh, they look old and trashy, and so keep that in mind. When you do carry your gear around, you're going to be playing a lot of shows, so you want to think about how much equipment you're going to need, how heavy the equipment is, how quick you can pack it in and out. So once I figured out the speakers, I said, well, about $1,000 with stands and everything else. Like I bought myself extra power supply cables and extra XLR cables just to have them in a bag. So if by chance one of them is defaulted or faulty, then I can replace it as quick as I can. I don't have to run to a store and try to track it down or whatever minutes before a show. I'll actually have it with me. So that was some other things. So I spent about $1,000 on the speakers and the stand and everything. I spent about 300 on the DJ facade, and it's like I said, you can set all this stuff up in about 10 minutes, wires, everything. And then another thing I was looking at, I said, well, do I need a sub? Like the Mackie Thumps are really good, but do I need a sub? So I decided to wait on the sub for a few months. I was like, it's cool, but then it's going to be bulky. It's going to be like super bulky. So I waited on the sub. I got myself a nice mixer. I had a pretty simple control, like a simple controller at first, and it was working. It worked fine, for the clients I was working for. But I wanted to upgrade my actual DJ board, so I went ahead and upgraded it this last January. But I was just using the basic, what is it? The Pioneer, like DDJ 3, I think it is. And I was just using that one for the last couple of years, and it's been really good. And it's lightweight. Put it in your backpack with your laptop. Really easy to carry. So you got your backpack with your laptop, some extra wires with you. So I already had a board, so I didn't need to upgrade quite yet because I'm just doing basic setups and stuff. I'm not at a club, playing to like 10,000 people in an audience. If I'm playing to that many people, I better have a better board than, the $300 board. So that was another consideration. I already had a wireless mic that I paid about $100 for, and it's probably one of the best microphones I've ever used. I never have feedback with it. People can walk around with it, talk, toast, and it's just been a great microphone. I mean, it was like $100, but you do have to replace the batteries every event, which can get a little costly. Or you can just go to like a Costco, or you can just buy a bulk of batteries and then just have extra batteries with you. Always change your batteries out if it's a wireless microphone before the service, because the last thing you want is the microphone battery to die in the middle of a toast at a wedding. That's like the worst thing ever. It just dies. What happened? Oh, I didn't change the batteries. Oh, good job, DJ. So that kind of stuff. You want to keep that in mind. Always change your batteries out. But so I will eventually upgrade here on the microphone setup. But I thought just to get started, let's just try this one out. And it's been a really great microphone for $100. I highly recommend it. And then what else? Let's see here. So, oh yeah, I had a laptop, but it was an older laptop, and I was having issues with it. I would never DJ with it. Let's put it that way. Like it was a few years old, and I just wouldn't DJ with it because it wouldn't be right to the client for what they're paying me to DJ with a board that may or may not, or DJ with a laptop that may or may not die halfway through your set. So I looked around. I said, well, I can stick to a Mac or I can go to a PC. Now, this is just my own personal preference. I don't know what your preference is. I said we need to give ourselves a really nice MacBook Air because we're really only going to be playing music on it. We're going to be mixing with Serato, and we're going to have to hook in, our board, DJ controller to it. And so I decided to go with a MacBook Air. It was probably about, I want to say 1,200, maybe 13. Like with everything, like you have to buy some accessories with it as well. It's been one of the best purchases I've ever made, like with a laptop. I've been super impressed with it. It's super sleek, lightweight, looks super professional. It's gold. I was like, why not? Let's get the gold one. It's cool. It's gold. Gold is cool, right? So I went with that one. You do have to buy Serato DJ, which I think is like 100 or 150 bucks. I ended up getting like the video pack too because I thought I was going to be like mixing music videos and stuff for people. Not even one request for video mixing whatsoever. But it is fun if you're at the house and you're DJing, for friends and stuff, and you're just kind of like partying and stuff. It's cool to look at music videos. You're like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen this Black Eyed Peas I Got a Feeling music video ever. Like people always say that. So it's kind of fun in the visual sense, but when it comes to all the gigs that I played, I've never had a request for video. So it's cool, but I don't know if people really want it. They just want to listen to the music. That's kind of what I'm finding. So, what else did I do? Okay, yeah, so I got the laptop, and then I needed to get some lights, right? Just some basic lights. I didn't want anything too flashy because I don't think your wedding crowd is really going to want a lot of strobe. Like during the partying section, with grandma on the floor, I don't think she's going to want a lot of strobe lights. I really don't. So I had to look at the gear. I looked at this. It's like a four light. It's called a wash bar. And you can change colors from purple, red, blue, pink, pretty much, all the basic colors. And it's got a little foot adjustment. So you can like press down on it and it'll change colors. Or you can also change the settings where it goes through the colors and fades through them. It's been really nice. Like I usually turn it to like purple just because purple is a very pleasing color on the eyes. I wouldn't do red. Red is like right at you. So, and the wash bar wasn't too much money. I ordered it through a site. What was it called? It might have been, I think it was like Sweetwater or something. I think I ordered it through Sweetwater. I looked at, I think it's like $500-$600 for the light, but it really does add a nice vibe to the DJ, and it lets people know that's where the DJ is, where like that little lighting setup is. And then after that, a few months later, I decided to actually get myself a nice party light, kind of like a club lighting kind of setup. I've rarely used it. Weddings, like they don't seem to really want like all that extra lighting. Like for just like a simple wedding, something where there's like 150 people. Sometimes you'll bring out the club light like later on, like after everybody who's older has decided to go back down and sit down, and then the younger music is coming up, and then the younger kids are out on the floor. Yeah, it's a nice light. It's a really super nice light. I spent like $500 on it. Went down to Guitar Center and just went ahead and bought it. What can I say about? So in all, like, and then I built myself what I call an oh crap bag, which is basically a bag with like a hammer, screwdrivers, breath mints, extra draws, socks. You got headache medicine in there. You got what else do we have in there? We got like lotion in there in case you forgot to bring lotion and your hands are all ashy and stuff. So it's kind of an emergency bag, like a backup bag. I'll even put extra batteries in there just because. So it's a bag you want to build that has, like, for example, too, I had a kid that was on the dance floor. They were doing their kid stuff, like twirling around in circles. And then they twirled and then they hit their knee or something. They scraped it up. We had an emergency kit with us in the oh crap bag. Pulled out a Band-Aid. Here you go. My assistant helped her. Kid was happy. Parents were happy. I said, thank you, DJ. Appreciate that. I said, no problem. We can help you. We got the first aid kit here. So good to have those kind of things. I also got earplugs just in case. I don't know. Anything that I could think of, like scenario wise. Oh, always bring toilet paper with you. When in doubt, put some toilet paper in your car. We had an experience where we were DJing a wedding and the bride and bridesmaid were in the main bathroom getting ready. My assistant, she goes, I walked in there, I kind of smiled, and then I turned around and walked back out. And she says, I wasn't going to go to the bathroom in there. Like, it's so disrespectful. And I'm like, I'm the same way. She's like, and I remembered that there was a gas station that I used their bathroom. It's actually more like a convenience store, like a Shell station or whatever. I use their bathroom, but I noticed that like their toilet paper was out. And my assistant, she had to go, and I was like, oh, the oh crap bag. Grab the toilet paper. There's a toilet paper roll in there. Grab it. Take it with you. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Always bring toilet paper with you. You never know. You never want to go into the groom's bathroom with all his groomsmen and take a big one. That is by far the most disrespectful thing you can do as a DJ. I don't care who you are. You go in there, dump one in. What are you doing? How are you feeling okay about this? So do not go in the bathroom and drop a deuce when you can just go drive down the block. Your assistant's with you. She's going to watch the gear. You go drive down the block, use the bathroom, come back. Everything's good. So definitely build a bag. I even had a moment where somebody needed some scissors. Oh, man, grab my bag. Got some brand new scissors right here for you if you need them. Okay, cool. Thank you. Good. We're good to go, right? Always bring extra tape. Get those wires down just in case your power plug is across the room. It's important to have tape with you. Gaffer's tape, duct tape, any tape will work. The last thing you want to do is have a loose cord and somebody trips over it who's 65 years old. They just broke their hip. Good job, DJ. That's what you don't want. You don't want that. So always cover up your cables and always have extra tape with you. We did an event. It was a car show festival for Halloween. And you can get these, they're like work mats. They're like kind of like a rug, but it's like, I won't say it's plastic, but it's like a rubber, like loose mat or whatever. We had some cables that were out on a patio. Well, you can't really tape down on a patio. So we had this extra carpet with us, put it over the top, eliminated all the wires, and that way no one trips. So little things like that are important to have with you as well as in the oh crap bag. I've got a lot of extra stuff in the oh crap bag I probably don't need, but I have it in there. I have extra cables, extra wires, anything like even some HDMI cables I'm going to start bringing along with me now. We had a show the other day where the venue, apparently they didn't have an HDMI cable for their projector. They eventually found one, but they just didn't have one. So I was thinking to myself, well, if I would have had one with me, we could have just hooked it up right then and there. So think about those, think about those little things, right? Those little extra things you can do to make people's life really easy. Make the event flow really easy. Take the stress away from people having to put together this event. You know, those little last minute changes, it can cause a lot of stress. And not only that, but if it's a wedding, I mean, you're getting married to this person for your life, right? So it's very important to be the DJ that's not just a DJ, but somebody can like really help the event run a little bit smoother, you know, outside of what you normally do. So that's something that I can recommend. And then as far as like the rest of the equipment, I really try to buy. I bought a portable speaker, pretty nice one. It's about $100. It has terrible reviews online, but it does the job perfect for me. And what I'll do is I'll set that one up for the ceremony music. If the ceremony is in a separate room, like I had a ceremony downstairs, was the ceremony was downstairs, the reception was upstairs. My speakers are not gonna they're not gonna be able to reach all the way down a flight of stairs and then into a whole separate room downstairs. So I have an extra portable speaker. Hook it up to my laptop. That way I have ceremony music, Bluetooth it, put it up on a little tripod, and then you have the music going for when people are walking in. A little more upbeat, a little more like ceremony music sometimes, or maybe it's classical, like acoustic stuff. But it really does set a nice tone, for when people are arriving and stuff versus no music where it's just like, I don't know. So you get the music going, turn it down, and they'll always give you a look. The bridal, the bridal party or somebody in the bridal party will give you a look like, go ahead and cue my song. I'm coming down the aisle. You'll have that portable speaker there, be ready to go. Turn it up. Everybody gets up, smiles. They get up to the podium, the area, and then that's where you kind of just slowly turn it down. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. But that portable speaker has been really nice. About $100. It's pretty good. All in all, I would say for all the equipment that I bought, it's a pretty low overhead. I mean, oh yeah, I did end up getting a Mackie subwoofer. That was about $700, I think, for the subwoofer. So I think everything in all, I mean, you can spend, $5,000-$7,000 and have a really nice setup to get you going. I'd recommend about $10,000 is what you want to spend. But even if you look at it from like a business standpoint, $10,000 to start a company, to start a business is nothing. I mean, that's really nothing. We've had to buy separate things. Like we bought ourselves like a fold out canopy for one event because we didn't know if it was going to rain. So we went ahead and bought one of those for the event, and we haven't used it since, but we know next year we're going to have a canopy ready. So we'll be good to go. So all those little things you got to plan for. Weather sometimes is a big one. So you will have to buy extra things for that, like a canopy. Also, I bought some sandbags in case it gets windy at a certain location because I don't know. So I'll bring sandbags with me just to have them if it's an outdoor location. Something to put on the speakers, something to put on the canopy so it doesn't blow away. Little things to keep in mind. But yeah, I think that's about good for today. I'm sorry, I get a little long-winded when I talk, but it's just one of those things. Like I feel like if I can share it with a starting DJ or somebody that's a little more experienced, like I've learned so much from watching DJs on YouTube, just talk about their experiences. So I figure, well, if I could do the same and help somebody else out, that would be, returning the favor. So, all right. Have you bought your equipment yet? Are you planning on buying your equipment yet? Do you have old gear and you want to upgrade it? Let me know in the comments. I can always let you know too. Like I can tell you certain brands are better than other brands. I don't want to say what brands those are that in my opinion, but there are some brands that are better than other brands when it comes to like speakers, when it comes to any equipment. So, if you have any questions about brands or my opinion on them, leave them in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe if you want. If not, whatever happens, happens. Also, make sure you like it and share it. And yeah, that's about it. And have a great day. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Peace for now.